I'm gonna stand like this.
And you probably have to turn it on.
I did.
Oh,
Thank you.
Right there on. So you can't turn yours on.
whoop.
Second now.
So we're being broadcast throughout where? The village? Okay.
I think we all can. I did not see Jen. Yeah, we can start with that, right? How do we know that, Tom? Is there a red light? How do we know? I was kind of waiting to see if Jen would show up. We'll give her a couple more minutes. We're just waiting to see if Jen shows up.
It's okay. You're running the show.
See? Perfect. Not Jen?
Not Jen.
Should we get started without her?
Hopefully she's not trying to log into Zoom.
I don't have her. It's, is it possible that she might be doing that?
She won't get in.
Then she'd probably be sending you an email. Oh.
But I know, she definitely, she acknowledged that she, the update to a live meeting.
Yep, she did. All right, we'll give her to 7:05. get started. Okay, this is the Village of Millbrook Planning Board meeting, July 20th, 2021. Sorry, we're starting about 5 minutes late. We were waiting to see if one of our other members would make it. We're going to go ahead and move forward without her. And the first line item is to do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, it's been quite a while since we've all met, first time in person. The last time we met was back in January. We did have a meeting and we had some meeting minutes, and since then we haven't met. So first thing we need to do is just go ahead and get a motion to approve the meeting minutes from January 19th, 2021. So move. Joe, second.
Second.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. No oppositions. Okay, we have one item of business this evening. It's the Maewood multi-purpose facility. We have Ed Lodi here and David, if you guys would like to go ahead, introduce yourselves and I guess introduce us to the project and tell us a little bit about what your plans are. You're good.
I'm up to bat.
Yo, yes, please, come up to bat.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Regina. My name is Ed Lodi. David Holowiak is with me. He's with the office. We represent Maewood LLC. It's a company it's a construction company. They recently located in Millbrook. Their office is at 24 Washington Avenue, which is the old firehouse. And they're proposing to construct a new building across Russell Knolls, which is that little somewhat ill-defined road that goes past the village maintenance building out to the back. So let me just tell you a couple things about it in general. We're proposing a building that will have some office space in it. It will have two dwellings, two one-bedroom apartments. It will have a two-car garage or two-truck garage. And just for the note, we are located in the GB, the General Business District. I'll have to get to that after. The total square footage is about 3,100 square feet. Our calculations show that there are 7 cars required for the occupancy. There are 5 spaces outside of the building and 2 inside. 2 more are shown right here. Technically, they can't be counted because, and I'll explain to you in a little more detail, that their tails hang out over the property line. We've designed a building that I think will fit with the architecture of the village. So if I may, somebody made over my pointer last year. I don't know what happened to it, so I brought this one. Sorry, I walked away from here, but it's going to be a little difficult maybe to do this plus point at this drawing.
You can pull it back a little bit.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah,
You
keep
all
going.
see it all right?
Yep.
Okay. So Washington Avenue is here. Russell Knolls is this little, you're going to call it a street or a road, but it's actually part of the village property that includes the maintenance facility, which is back here. We've submitted all sorts of legal papers in our submittal to the board, which I think is being reviewed by whoever, attorneys, engineers, where the village has gone on record that this is basically a street, and it's the same as if it was a deeded street. Because frankly, without direct access from this parcel to a roadway, a legal roadway, this construction wouldn't be permitted. So when you finally get to that part, maybe it'll help you understand that we do have the legal right to come out onto village property and have an easement to go over to Washington Avenue. So we're proposing to come in on Russell Knolls. This is the firehouse. Our office is in here together with Maewood. You probably know this little apartment building. And then we're proposing to put this building on this parcel. And the property line is, as you can see, runs along here, back here, and like this. You'll have to study the drawings we submitted to you. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on here. It's a very small parcel, so there's a lot of notation and so on here. So the way you can walk into this building, or you can drive up to it and walk in the front door, or you can park your car and walk in. David, would you hand out that little, we have a little drawing that shows how this building would kind of look as you come up from Washington Avenue. That's probably what you would see. Would you like one, Peter? Sure. So if you were to drive into Russell Knolls, that's probably the kind of view you would get. It's a two-story building. You see what's there. Our submittal to you includes all the floor plans, all the elevations, everything of this building. This back here shows the building that the village owns. We just showed some vehicles that usually park in front of the building and by this wall. So it's actually a pretty simple kind of a proposal that we're making. If you look at that, it's like building a house. But the requirements of both the planning board and the zoning board is such that we did need to put all this information on this drawing. The rear of this property is here. And we will need to go to the zoning board of appeals to get a variance for that setback. We've applied to them already. Well, have we applied to them already? Okay. However, we were advised to come here first. So I realize you can't act on this anyway till we get that variance. So we're following village procedures. The proposed siding on that building is just white board and batten look to it. Very simple. So if you have any questions, I'm here to answer them.
Do you have any questions, Joe? Or Kay?
No, Ed, on this photo where you have this, what's this building here? Or is that just photo?
The little building is the old jail.
Oh, that's the gym, okay. So,
I'm sorry, that truck, we should have moved that truck out of the way a little bit.
It looks nice out.
What's that?
It looks nice.
Well,
It fits.
So our engineer, Richard Renia, obviously you've gotten his letter, right?
yes, we have.
So, I mean, that was a great presentation, by the way. I like the layout of everything, because it's already addressing some of the site plan issues that he brought up, such as parking, sidewalks, etc. There's some other things on here that I think can be addressed additionally, like some of the evergreen screening is proposed. He asked you to put that on there. I think those are all pretty straightforward things. The one thing that we have our hands tied on is the zoning issues that he brought up, and from what I've I've spoken to Ken, and that just needs to be addressed. That's out of our jurisdiction. We can't do anything
No,
with
understand.
that. So, and I don't think at this point, until you speak to the village and to Ken to resolve that, we can't give you a recommendation to the zoning board of appeals yet. Is that correct? I believe, we don't want you to go there and spend your time there and then come back and then have something else come up and waste money or anything like that. We want to be as efficient as we possibly can in moving processes like these forward, but the zoning issue that Rennie had brought up and that I spoke to Ken about, we have our hands tied.
I understand, and I'm glad you brought it up because I've had something to do with the situation a couple of years back, and the whole issue is that the zoning map of the village of Millbrook, which was prepared by Dutchess County, is incorrectly drafted. If you look on parcel maps of the county, this is all GB. So Renia, who is over in Dover Plains, I'm not sure he's aware of this. Now, I understand you could say to me, Ed, I get it, you're wasting my time. If you let me speak, please. Is there a way for you to resolve this without another month? Because here's the problem. We feel we did this all correctly. I think it'll come out that way. We prepared to go to the zoning board of appeals because we know that needs to be done first. We were then hoping to be here and hopefully to get a final approval for the map. So now we're already 1 month behind because we were asked to come here before we go to the zoning board. We know why we know we have to go to zoning. I mean, we know we need that variance. The ordinance strictly points out that Kenny could have given us the okay to go to the ZBA. But we were asked, I think by Ken, right, to come here. Right there was 1 month gone. So now we're hoping if we get some okay from you, and then we have to go to the zoning board, and then have to come back here, if we're lucky, we could start construction in October. If we go any further than that, it would be into November. And this is all, in my opinion, due to the fact that the county and the village never got their ducks lined up because of this map. And my client is basically not only waiting, paying us, paying Renia for things he doesn't know anything about. So I respectfully submit this to you for consideration. If there's a way to do this and expediting it, I would really appreciate it.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
About the map, what you stated about the map. The map you looked at was on a county website? Is that what you looked at?
No.
That you saw that there was a
No,
difference?
the map that we looked at is the village map. The village map shows that we're in RMF, right?
Correct.
The county map says that we are in GB.
And where is the county map?
I'm
that you're
pulling it
looking
up
at?
right now.
Okay.
I'm
That's-
assuming
that's what I wanna be able
DutchessCounty.gov.
to-
Dutchess County parcel access maps. They show the parcel, they state what zone it is in. Have you checked any of this yourself?
I believe that you're correct. That is GP.
Thank you.
You have to pull it up on the property card.
Yes.
Can you give him the number?
It is. It says GB right on it.
On parcel.
Yeah, I'm gonna get up because I want to make sure that I got the right one. That's not what you're saying, so.
kind of good with the glasses.
That's the parcel, correct? Yeah, so if I go on here, you go to full property card.
Yep, says general business.
I didn't show you two, it says GB on it.
Okay, my updated one I have right here is 2002, and it was updated in 2005, but it was poorly attached in here, so I couldn't really tell you. Yeah.
Well,
We'll just have to clarify that, that's all.
yeah, that's, I wish Ken was here.
Mr. Chairman,
Okay.
At least make a
Yeah, okay.
recommendation, and then if we can't, then we don't do it.
Okay.
It's no harm that we don't do it.
Sorry,
for
Kay.
us.
Did you hear what what Regina just said?
Yeah.
Do you have a problem if, because it does say GB on there, on their property card? So what she was just discussing is to go ahead and have us make the referral this evening for you to go to the zoning board. And in the meantime, resolve it with Ken, and if something happens unforeseen to us, then pull it back out of there, because we don't want you to, I don't want you to go there and do something that then comes back to us and all of a sudden we have to say no to something, because like I was saying before, we would rather make this efficient.
I appreciate what you just did. You went way out of your way to double check everything. I
So,
appreciate that, and I appreciate this approach, because if it turns out we're wrong, then we're back.
so just to put this on record so that everybody understands what's going on, pursuant to Ed's presentation, he brought it to our attention that the Dutchess County parcel map does indicate that this particular parcel is listed as GB on the property card. So we need a motion? Do we need a motion to, so the motion, I guess that I would like to make a motion that we go ahead and refer Maewood LLC to the zoning board for their next meeting, with the understanding that we were given notification that the zoning was RMF, but now has come to light that it is in all likelihood GB. So as long as that's resolved, then go ahead and continue with the ZBA at the next meeting.
Thank you very much.
I need a second.
I'll make the motion.
Oh, you make the yeah. What?
Whatever.
There you go. So, thank you, Joe. Thanks, Kay. So, all in favor? Aye.
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 Aye. Okay. No opposition. So, oh, and prior to the next planning board meeting, if you can just address all the other things
Yes.
that Richard brought up. Obviously, as far as the general conditions, what we've just discussed, hopefully that will be pretty straightforward. And then some of the issues that he brought up with the site plan. One of the things that I didn't see on the site plan was like lighting. Is that,
We show lighting.
you show lighting?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Are you gonna have any signs? Cause
No signs.
no signs?
The owners- Other than maybe a street sign or the small sign of the office. This is going to be an auxiliary office to the Maewood structure. Their business office is in the building, the old firehouse. And this is going to house garages and some other offices. They can't fit all their people into the building now. That's why they're
Okay.
building this.
So do you have anything to add?
If
to the
I
site?
may, Mr. Chairman, there are a couple of things I'd like to bring up that really kind of outside of the scope of all this, but I want to explain them to you and hear what you think. Russell Knolls has never, ever clearly been defined, either legally or physically, as a street. Now, I'm not an attorney, but I understand now that the attorneys kind of worked that out. Physically, as a planner and architect, we are proposing to hopefully go beyond our presentation. The property line for Maewood's building is right here. In order to make this street, which is what's being used now as a street, physically very visible and go beyond that handsome, we're proposing to pave out to here, put landscaping out here, put a curb in here, possibly some curbs here. This building is owned by the Whalens. We're already in discussion with them, hopefully, that we'll get them to agree that they'll put some money into this and pay for a curb here. So on this side, if you've been to this building, this has been curbed. It's a Class A construction there. The same owner is proposing this, is prepared to assist with all this construction, but we'd like to get these people to agree. Mr. Doro is the property owner right here, correct? And I think, and his house is the next structure back there. So I won't speak for you, but I'm going to guess, Peter, that you might be in agreement with what we're proposing. We want to make this look like a very handsome street. Now, we're not here to apply for that approval. We're not in position to apply for that approval. That approval has to come from the village itself. They have to vote, agree. Whalen would have to agree, other property owners. However, I would like, if I could, if you could see your way clear, to make an official statement that the planning board saw and heard this and that they're in favor. I'm not asking you to do this right now, but by the time we come back the next time, and you can totally digest what we've got in mind, my office is going beyond its duty. Maewood didn't ask me to do this, but you know, for those of you who don't know, I had this building for about 20 years. I sold it to Maewood. He's a fellow I've known for 40 years. And I've persuaded him to go along with this idea because having been here in Millbrook all this time, and despite all this gray hair, I plan to stay here for a while yet. I think that would be a great addition to Millbrook, that this little street becomes a nice little street. I understand also from your maintenance guy, Bobby, what's it, Pepsi Cola? No, I'm kidding.
Capicola.
He told me that the village is proposing to pave out here next year. Well, that'd be a perfect time to kind of do all this and take this whole area and really bring it up to another level where it would be something nice to look at and easy to drive through. So I'm simply pointing out that this is something at the next meeting I'll go into more depth. You might have questions, but the only thing I'm going to ask you is if you could go on the record to the village and say you're in favor of it, or maybe you're not in it, but if you're in favor, it would help us get this thing rolling. And then there's one other thing that nobody talked about yet, but Renya did. We have this little bitty dumpster back here, okay? It's a 4x6 dumpster. We purposely put it all the way back in this parking lot, which is about 50-some feet back there. Now, he's reading in the ordinance, and I understand that it should be enclosed. It's very little. We're going to ask, I don't know, I'm not sure who we need to ask, but maybe the ZBA. We'd like to not to have to do that. Those small dumpsters, by the time you build up quite a bit of money, and the maintenance that goes with it, continuously the trucks running into those gates. So I'd like you to at least think about that. It'll come back We'll be talking about it the next time, but just so that it's in your minds now. This little baby and this road, we're bringing those up to your attention.
I will say that comes up continuously, and it usually ends up being an enclosure. Just as a heads up, unless I'm wrong, because I remember doing this with the laundromat and other.
Yeah, let's see how far set back.
Yeah, we'll see. But sure.
Thank you very much.
And I'm sorry, the guest, you're the property owner adjacent to,
Yes.
and I'm sorry, your name is
Peter Doral.
Peter Doral. Well, since you came here tonight, do you have any?
I came here for further information. I know Ed. Ed's let me know about these plans. I know Maewood as well, and from what I can tell, they've been very gracious neighbors thus far and very open in the process. So, at this point, I'm supporting the project, and I think Ed's right that some of these other changes as well aesthetically would be beneficial to the neighborhood and also Millbrook at large. So at this point, I like what I see,
Okay.
what I heard.
Thank you.
So I guess Kay or Joe, do either one of you have anything in addition to what Richard prepared? Anything that you'd like to see, or any questions for Ed or David?
I'm totally fine. I'm good. No,
Yeah.
Good.
Good, nothing from me.
Thanks, Ed.
Thank you very much.
okay.
You've been very kind and very helpful. Doesn't always happen.
Don't get used to it.
I'm not.
Well, we have no other items of business at this point, so I guess we just need a motion to adjourn, right? Or, yep, just need a motion to adjourn. Joe,
Motion?
okay,
Second?
here we go. All in favor? Aye,
Aye.
we are through.
Thank you.